the sisters of the last victim of Stephen Port said the police had blood on their hands.
Yes.
Because their investigation was so biased, so prejudiced, so negligent, so uncaring, that another 3 victims, it allowed another 3 victims. So they have the blood of at least those 3 people who should never have been killed, because Stephen Paul should have been caught the first time around. And we have seen this many times. We at the Crossroads Women's Centre, where our organizations are based, including the English Collective of Prostitutes, we campaigned in 1980 around the case of the Yorkshire Ripper, because again, 13 women were killed because the police didn't care, because they were only prostitutes. And even when the Yorkshire Ripper was found and prosecuted finally, and he had attacked many more, there were at least 7 other women, there was an attempted murder against them at least. When he went to court, the prosecutor, Haver, said, oh, perhaps the saddest thing about this case is that some of the women were perfectly respectable, innocent victims. That's what they all thought about us. You know, and so things have changed in the sense that our movement against rape has got much stronger, much more widespread, so that now there are women within the police force who can come forward and speak about the rape they have suffered at the hands of their colleagues. There was one on the radio this morning who spoke about Carrick having raped her, a policewoman. And the wives and partners of police officers, some of them police themselves, some not, are also speaking out about the domestic violence they have suffered at the hand of police. About police officers saying, if you report me, nobody will believe you, and they will take your children away. And you know, that is a familiar situation for many mothers who are victims of domestic violence.
Yes.
Where the fathers of the children use the fact that if they go to the family court, they are likely to get the children, because the whole system backs the rapist. That is the reality.
Yes.
Today's case is a bit unique, because let's face it, out of the thousands of rapists out there, and many of them within the police force, most of them have not been prosecuted.
Yes.
And we hope that this opens a chapter of more rapists being prosecuted, so that we can stop rape once and for all. Men would think twice if they knew they were likely to end in prison. Now they don't think twice, because they can get away with it. And that's what they know. I want to just briefly say that there are a number of people in the police force who have spoken very well, whom we quote on this open letter to Mark Rowley. And one of them was Neil Basu, who was the retiring Assistant Commissioner and Counter-Terrorism Chief, and who is from a mixed-race family. And they asked him about the excuse that the police are reflecting the prejudices in wider society, the common excuse up to now, and what did he think about that? And he said, you have got to want your police to be better than wider society because of the powers that we have. Professional standards is the most important thing for policing. Now that we absolutely agree with.
Yes.
And that is the crux of the matter. Are the people who have powers over us going to uphold standards, or are they going to use those powers against us? And up to now, they have used their powers against us. And that's why we absolutely oppose any further increase in police powers.
Yes.
This government is trying to politicize the police by giving the police the right to decide which demonstrations will be allowed and which ones will be criminalized. And we know here that we will be criminalized, and we say no.